So I'm doing the tie downs now, which is a regulation for a shed this size. You have to be tied down to resist a certain amount of wind load. I think it's a little silly myself. That's really probably more for your lighter sheds, your prefabs and your basic garden sheds, not something which continually gets confused for a tiny house by the people walking by and talking to me every day. However, it is one of the few requirements they have. They want to make sure that I put it in the right place, put it where I said I would. It's the size I said it would be. This is just the haft for a tomahawk I never got around to making last year. I'm short. Didn't know it. I'm sorry? Just talked to one of the nicest neighbors who is really interested in the gold plexi. It's hard to even see what that is because it's just mirrored, but this is a gold-colored mirror plexiglass. I have this big chunk of it, and she was just like, "What is that? That's so cool." Well, that looks nice. Alright, had a little break, put up the door trim. Okay. I really hope I don't break this. Either this. There, now I've hit a rock. At least I assume you can see that. It's denting it all in all the way around. That may just be how far that one's gonna be. The next step is to add wire, like I've done on the back here. You can see we're looped around. This needs to be tightened down all the way. This is gonna get held like that by a little loop piece of hardware I've got. And then this wire goes up through each of the rafters. It's a little hard to see from here. There's a hole drilled and it just runs right through down the other side. And you can see here I've got one corner up and the wire just comes out the bottom of it. Simple. Well, I have a tripod now, and yet I keep forgetting to set it up, and look at that, it's right there. Could have used it to film what I did. Gotten started on the Anvil base. First step, cut a hole in the floor. You can see I managed to line up pretty damn well with the spot that I'd framed out. I had it roughly marked out from when I did the floor, and then I just drilled a couple of holes progressively closer to each corner until I found basically where it was. And straight edge, plunge cut with the circ saw. There you go. I've only tried to step on it that isn't there once so far. That piece is certainly thick enough, but this is not. It's more just to keep anything from chipmunks from climbing in for the moment. The other thing I did, you might notice it's kind of nice and bright in here. I got that up. I managed to get it up all by myself, and that was, well, it was pretty stupid. I'm gonna see if I can get somebody to help me put the other one up. Now it's once again time to put up siding, and oh no, it's raining. It was like a 20% chance today, and here it is. I've got the tie downs all in, and I just need to get these corners cut and put up. That's the next step. What I want to try to do is get them so that they fit all the way up to the roof, around this, this rafter, and just notch that in so it goes around that perfectly. I think that'll end up looking the nicest. Not really entirely sure how we're going to handle that upper portion there, so for now I'm going to build it assuming that I might decide that yes, we should put siding all the way up, all the way up to the bottom side of the roof. I'd rather not do that because that would include, cutting siding at an angle, and that seems stupid. So I don't know. We'll see. 4 corners up. I ended up doing it a little bit differently on these corners. So I just cut it off flush. And then up at the top, I'll get some flashing or a trim board eventually. Probably just flashing because that's nice and easy. Now I gotta lay out the starter strip. Make sure that it is level and consistent between all the sides, which will be fun to do with one person. First piece on. I mean, I have to do the rest of the trim and the J-channel and stuff. I just wanted to make sure I was doing this right. Okay, so we're quickly approaching the moment of truth here. And that is to see if my very careful measuring and leveling and rechecking and remeasuring has made it so that when I get to this next piece, after I finish up that side so it's the same as that, the next piece will go all the way across. And if I've done this right, and accounted for the very slight, errors here and there, one window maybe at a fraction of an inch different than that one, and all of that, whether or not it'll actually line up. Well, I think it's good. And I can't quite figure out where or what isn't exactly level. It's definitely visible, but not very much. Oh well. Something didn't end up quite level, but it's about 3/8 of an inch off, and I think for my first time on siding and my first time building, pretty damn happy with it. Alright, sides about where it was. I moved on to the others to make sure we're doing the longest lengths first, which is the best way to make sure you don't screw yourself later on. Back's almost done. I'm having to add just a little bit of height because with just a little bit more height, you can see those 2x4s I'm screwing in place. Actually, 2x4s cut in half. Holes pre-drilled and ready to go. With just that little bit extra height, I can get one more full course on and have the top edge of it line up just under the top of that wood, which will make it a lot easier to finish and look nice. I've got some more drip cap, and I'll basically use this stuff instead of the way it's supposed to be, like this. It'd sit on top of a window or something like that. I'm going to turn it like this and put it on the edge of those so it'll cover here, the edge of that top course, cover the top of the 2x4 a little bit, piece of cake. But now I got to take the scaffolding down because it's not high enough to reach the other side. So I figured the last bit I'll just do by moving the ladder a little bit at a time. Not a lot of fun, but it won't take that long. It's done. Last thing to do, finish that top corner. Oh, where is it? There, right up there.
Sat for a couple of weeks because I had other stuff I had to do, but here we go. Got the little drip caps all the way along the top there. And one last small course at the top is an undersill to hold it. And at that point, it's fully sealed. It'd be really nice to get some aluminum flashing or something right at the top there to cover that. And that might happen eventually, but it's done. Finally. Let's see, that's concept back early September. Is that right? Yeah. Took me a couple of months to find the time to plot out the whole yard, you know, get what records there were, survey based off the house where the property lines must be, draw up a drawing, get a permit. You know, in that process, the landlord said, "Hey, you know, I'll split the bill. Let's do this right." Oh, all right. Which meant I didn't have to design it to be removable, which is good. Talk about a crappy move. Broke ground in December. Got the foundation pad laid before the ground froze, mostly. Waited out the cold of the winter and busy times at my regular job. And then I guess it was the beginning of March, I want to say. February and March, made the box the floor, and beginning of April, full time. Now it's almost the end of June. Altogether, the actual full-time time to make it, 40 hours a week, probably 3 months, tops. That's probably excessive. Call it 2, all told. Doesn't include all the time I spent thinking about it, planning in my head, devoting emotional energy, and yeah, anyway, it's done. Nice day. Now what?